folks, this is ioEther and we're back playing some more World of Tanks. So as you can see, this is Doug999 back again. This time he's on the beautiful little ELC. The weirdest eyes I've ever seen on a French tank. Totally an ugly duckling, but it's so amazing in its element, right? So, this is of course a tier 7 game on Karelia. We're in fixed camera, yay! And so I'm just going to do the normal intro crap. So, first off, if you want to support the channel, the best way by far is to like any videos you enjoy. Still, same way as always. If you want to talk to me, best ways are still Twitter, Duckster, and Facebook. All the links are in the description below. And if you want to see me streaming, which I will attempt to do this Saturday, the time when I will streaming will be announced in Twitter. So if you follow me on Twitter, you will get when I'm streaming. You can come watch me screw up in person. Because I'm totally awesome at this game all the time. Totally. But I will probably be playing with some amazing people like Ronick and Ash and anyone else who I can pull into a game. And, and if you want to play with me, the best way is to jump into game and then add me as a friend. Ooh, that's an interestingly close view of a A43. Probably not.
First blood.
I'm fairly certain, I mean I wasn't paying it complete attention, but I'm fairly certain that Doug just pulled off 2 snapshots in an ELC at an A43 and knocked his tracks off both times. How many times has that actually happened to you? Because it doesn't happen to me a whole lot anymore. Mostly because by the time I fire in an ELC, I've done what most people... Okay, so I should back up, and we're going to pause this for a second. Ooh, I didn't notice that. So he's got a large first aid kit, and then apparently nothing else in these 2 consumable slots. Which I'm going to guess has meant that he has used them at some point and forgot to refill them. Probably because they were a automatic fire extinguisher and a large repair kit. And thus set to don't auto refill. Most likely what has happened. The other thing is I notice he's not bringing any gold or HE. This is always a mistake. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna pause on this for a brief second. Doesn't matter what class of vehicle you're in, it doesn't matter what tier game you're in, always bring some gold and always bring some HE. And as for HE, I normally stick with about 3 to 5 rounds depending on the tank, depending on how much ammo I have. So like, and that's non-autoloaders. For autoloaders, I never bring any HE. It's just not worth wasting a reload on. But so, say if I had a non-auto-loading tank with about 40 rounds in it, can't think of one off the top of my head, then I would probably bring more towards 3 rounds of HE, and then 40, so about 12 rounds of gold. And so that's my personal tolerances is not the right word. Par is the word I'm actually looking for. Anyways, it's actually from bars, but anyways, it's the lowest minimum setting that I want for my ammo. I want at least a third of my ammo to be gold, and I want 3 to 5 rounds, preferably 5 rounds of HE. And the reason for that is HE is brilliant and one of the only reliable ways to reset a cap each and every time. And 5 rounds of that should get you enough damage to reset the cap enough times. If you have to fire more than 5 HE rounds to reset a cap, then you have other problems that need to be addressed. Probably with the gold rounds you should be carrying. So the reason I carry gold rounds, yes, they're not put with gold anymore, I don't care. I'm still going to call them gold rounds. The reason I carry gold rounds is it's a practical thing. I assume going into each and every game that I am the best player in the game, and I will have to carry the team eventually. And so far it happens most games. No, I may not be the best player in the game, and no, I may not win by trying to carry the game, but it turns out often enough I do have to try and carry the game, even if I'm in something like an ELC. As you saw on my Ether Space video, if you missed the Ether Space video and you want to see how an ELC carries a game, go watch it. It was an amazing game, and I think it was a tier 7 to 9 game. I don't remember, but I do remember having to carry it in an ELC, which was hilarious. Anyways, back into this game. So, I did all that pausing to try and tell you how to properly aim and fire an ELC. The proper distance to fire an ELC from is as close to the target as possible where your gun is inside the enemy tank. Preferably side or rear armor. And I'm serious about this. In my ELCs, unless I am way in the back, doing incredibly sniping from bushes, the only time I ever fire the gun in the ELC is as I'm driving past somebody, when my gun is next to or inside their tank. And there's a very good reason for that. The ELC guns takes a long time to aim. A very long time to aim. For its tier, but it is so incredibly powerful for its tier that if you just run up and fire when it's in the face of an enemy tank or in the side, 9% of the time in the side armor you will penetrate and do 200 to 250 damage, which pisses off things. And doing that to like the side of a tiger is hilarious. You can do it to a TOG as well, where you get up close and personal, and you will actually hug the side of the TOG and juke backwards and forwards, and he can't aim his gun down far enough to shoot you. It's hilarious. You can do that to a Tiger tank, KV3s. I can't remember if I can do that to a low. There is a lot of the bigger German and Russian vehicles. British, not so much, except for the TOG. And never try that with an American tank, where you will die. Unless it's a T-28 prototype, in which case you will still probably die, but you might make it. See, like that Hellcat, if he'd been paying attention, that was a brilliant run by Doug, by the way. First and foremost, that was brilliant. And if the Hellcat had been paying attention, yeah, we would be dead. But Hellcat wasn't paying attention. We're not dead. KV-85 is kind of paying attention, but not enough. Now look at that. He fires. Now Doug is going to run over here. Oop, get shot in the way. That's bad. And yeah, good job. Brilliant. So I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to analyze something. So 2 things to note. First off, somewhere over here there's an enemy tank. I think he's actually... Where is he? I think he's actually over... No, he's got to be over here somewhere. Anyways, whatever. Somewhere over here, there's an enemy tank. Or am I looking in the wrong direction? In the wrong direction. He's right there. Anyways, whatever. There's an enemy tank over there. Chaffee. He's already shot us once. Managed to blow our turret. So important in an ELC. You totally need a turret in this little tank. You really don't. Your tracks will do the turret rotations for you. Anyways, so right about here was when he fired, which was appropriate. And then instead of stopping and trying to get out of the KV-85's line of fire by backing up or whatever, he just put the pedal down and screamed right past him. KV-85 missed because the ELC was in too close, going too fast. And thus Doug survives, and this is one of the things that will get you killed in an ELC. If you do not do it right, running up to enemy tanks will get you killed. However, what are you screaming for help for, Doug? You're in the perfect position. Somebody comes for you, you're just going to hide on the other side of this brilliant wreck that you created and kill them. You're fine. Don't worry about needing help. Anyways, he says, the rest of your team does not look like they're in the situation to help you. So, we were talking earlier about having to carry the game in whatever tank you happen to be in. There is, we had a Fury on our team who was a decent player, Comet, SU-122, 44, A-43. There's an E-25 who's still decent and in this game somewhere. Oh, he's actually on the other side of this pass, and we have we had a BDR who was okay. And so these are the players that the stats say will carry the game. Most of them are dead. They're not carrying anything at this point in time. At this point in time, it is all Doug. That is really unfortunate that you keep tracking the back end of a Tog. You're not going to get another shot in on him. Yeah, because he's going to do that. Line shot. I think you hit the rock that he was hiding behind, which really sucks. But if he's going to stay right there, then, well, by all means. Yeah. Oh! Of course. You're not going to reload before he repairs that thing. Really? So apparently the Tog had no repair skill on his tank at all. Because that's the only way you get to repair or beat the reload. Wow. Your reload beats his repair skill. The only way that happens is if he has absolutely no repair skill at all. It should take about... I can't remember the numbers. I think it's 12 seconds to repair a track. Without any sort of repair kit or anything, or repair skill at all, on the tank. However, of course, repair skill, fully upgraded repair skill, cuts that down by half. And if you have a toolkit, you can reduce that by another half. So, for some of the tanks... Doug, you have been brilliant this entire game. You have made a classic light tank blunder and jumped off a cliff. Unfortunately, Doug's shot was going to miss there, but I do need to stop again. Okay, so anytime you're coming down any of these cliffs, and I have done it myself, never ever go off it with any kind of speed. Now, occasionally you will be running at the cliff and completely forget it's there, either tunnel visioning or whatever, or it's a bigger bump than you thought it was, or anything. Just a simple act of letting go of the gas, that is taking your finger off W, or if you're in cruise control, tapping W once, or S for that matter, will slow your tank down enough to stop you from breaking your tracks 90% of the time. Unless, of course, it's a huge fall like this, in which case you're still going to damage yourself, but he didn't kill himself, which is really helpful. So we're going to let this play. Now, technically, there is a option in the controls to stop and fire, and that would be the most effective way to see what the VK's got decent hit points. Now the Tiger P is not AFK, so that's good. Okay, so the most effective way to stop yourself while falling off a cliff would be to stop and fire with that particular action button. I have mine disabled for the simple reason of I've ran out of buttons, and I'd rather have my fire extinguisher on spacebar than the potential to stop and fire, which I would never ever use anyway. So Doug is doing a really amazing thing here. So this is something I don't see often enough in the lower tier games. It's also something I don't see often enough between, quote, horrible players or not excellent players. Is, oops, yeah, this is a brilliant time to stop it, right? Anyways, Doug has taken control of this game, and he is making sure his team works together. He's being very nice and asking them, but he is very, very firm with where he wants his team to be, and then he's going to go ahead and volunteer that he's going to be the sacrificial lamb. Now, one thing to note on this is that, Doug, if you're ever in this situation again, I don't know what you're about to do. I haven't seen that. But if you can avoid getting shot here and you can get up beside that Tiger P, you can face hug him. Or rather, you can't actually face hug him because he would just kill you with 43 hit points left. But you can get up close and personal with him. And if you can keep his hull from hitting yours, you can kill him without him ever being able to hit you, because of the fact that his gun does not point down far enough to shoot you. I've done it with the Tiger. Tiger P has the same gun impression. It is brilliant and hilarious. So when you can take a Tiger from full health to dead with only an ELC, or as I did, a pair of ELCs, it is brilliant and hilarious. Now, we're going to jump back into Fix Hammer. You can see Doug is using his camera effectively to figure out where the Tiger P is looking and accommodate for it. Now, I would prefer... look at that. Tiger P has looked away. Run up to him, Doug. No, Doug is instead going to sit here, aim in, and miss a shot. I would have much preferred Doug had attacked the Tiger P right there. If he got up close and personal, the Tiger P would not have been able to aim down at him, and it would have been a hilarious kill. Now, be careful with this. Tiger P is likely setting up. No, Tiger P is apparently still running. And IS fires, injures him. Tiger P fires at something. Apparently he missed the IS, and now the VK is coming in to clean up the kill. Yeah. Come on, and a little bit more damage. No, we damaged the track, and the IS finishes him off. Okay. Get into the everything else. I do want to say, Ecovens, Anarchus, 1974, and Doug carried this game. Yeah, it's not something you normally say about orange type players. I mean, what's the? Is that a win? Wait, is that a win rate of 28? No, it's not. But anyways, so normally when people see these kind of ranges in the XVM, they start shouting things like tomatoes and other things. Doesn't matter what your XVM rating is. It really doesn't. As long as you play like you're the smartest person in this game and you play according to that, which is being careful, never being over aggressive until you know you can dominate, you can win games no matter what your XVM says. And I don't know what the percentage of winning this game at the start was. It was probably mediocre to high, because of the fact that they had like this Fury who's apparently amazing, and this SU-122-44 who's also pretty good, and not quite as good as I am, but close according to XVM anyway. But, wow, I don't know what to say. I'm just going to leave that alone. Anyways, it doesn't matter what your XVM, it doesn't matter how bad of a player you think you are. If you play to win and you stay alive, you can carry a game. 3,400 experience with premium with the daily double, earning him his ace tanker. Also fire for effect, and you can see just how much damage he caused, either through spotting damage or straight actual killing things. This is of course knocking the tracks off the dog and then persisting to murder him. And this poor 80, really? So I know he knocked the tracks off the A43 twice. How did he not get any spotting damage for that? The only thing I can think of is the A43 repaired his tracks before anyone shot him, which seems unlikely, but okay, sure. We'll go with that. Of course, this Hellcat. That was awesome. Good job. Now, the only thing I can say about that Hellcat kill is next time, don't race out in front of a Hellcat. Next time, if you come up behind a Hawkeye and shotgun him, just pull up next to that rock and make him come to you. You can use that rock to play around until your gun reloads, and then let him accidentally catch you, and then you kill him. That's how that works. Because you can back up about as fast as he can go forward, which is hilarious in an ELC. Or if you do it right, you could go forward around the rock much faster than he can go forward around the rock. 2,000 damage in an ELC in a tier 7 game. That was pretty epic. Now, I do have to give props to this guy, whose name I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce except for to call him Zam. Because 2,600 damage, he is definitely one of the carries of this game. He deserves some props. Unfortunately, he wasn't alive to see the end, but he was alive fairly far through that game. So these three deserve high praise. The VK definitely helped wrap up this game. Without him, that win would have been much, much harder, if not impossible to achieve, because of the fact that he was willing to sacrifice himself and be a target for the Tiger P while everyone else closed in on him. Where's, wow. Yeah, that Tiger P apparently just stayed back at base all game. Interesting. 19 shots fired, 12 penetrations. That's awesome. Now, of course, some of those penetrations were track shots that got absorbed. 90% certain they count as penetrations, even if they don't actually do damage, as average damage of an ELC is 240, so this number should be a lot higher if you penetrate 12 times, right? It should be about 2,400 or so. No, that's not right at all. It should be closer to 3. Yeah, it should be closer to 3,000 damage if he had penetrated with all 12 shots. He got hit twice. That is good in an ELC. And of course, a decent amount of spotting damage. Thank you. Oh, wait. One more thing to note. This. Okay, even this over here. This is a tier 7 game in a tier 5 white tank who was almost destroyed, fired off 19 shots. No gold, but still, that's a lot of health and ammunition to resupply. And that all came out to, what, like 7 grand or something? That is hilarious. And so, yeah, buy an ELC, make yourself some money. It is hilarious to drive and makes you money hand over fist. Better than most other tanks, except for, of course, premium tanks, which are designed to give you boatloads of credits. So, thank you all for watching. Have a great night. This is ioEther out.